I got 500 subs now. That's amazing. As I believe Flaming Monocle said, half of a fucking thousand. That is incredible to me. It's so good. Now for my 500 subscribers special vlog video going up right now. I asked in a couple of videos, like 2 or 3 I've posted on Watch This Game and my Twitter, that if you have a question for me, I'm gonna answer it now. Because this is a Q&A, 500 subscribers, fucking yeah. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of throwing fucking gang signs up that I made up, I don't know. Alright, so first question is from Paranormal Activity, and he asked, if you were able to potato yourself, what type of seasoning would you be seasoned with? How would you be potatoed? Example, mashed, fried, baked, etc. So, thank you for the question, Paranormal Activity. I actually thought about this question for a little bit. At first, I was going to say baked potato, and I was going to be like, haha, baked, smoked toast. No, I don't do that. Anyways, I was going to make a joke like that, but I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, you know what? I think I would want to be mashed potatoes, because I don't really like baked potatoes, honestly, that much. I think they're good. They're, like, decent, you know. They're not horribly disgusting or anything like that, but they're kind of like, I don't know, plain to me. I mean, you can make a baked potato, and you can slice that open on the top, and melt your butter and your sour cream and your chives and whatever else you want to put in, some pepper, some garlic. I don't know, but even with all of that, they're still kind of just like, you know, to me. And fried potatoes is... fuck, those are potato chips. What do you mean potato chips? Because that's pretty much what they are. Fried potatoes are potato chips, unless you just dump the whole potato and fry it. I think that would be disgusting, probably. Worse than a baked potato, probably. But I know that is just potato chips, because you can actually slice a potato really thin, not all the way through. Sprinkle some olive oil on there, and olive oil and salt and pepper, and you got yourself some good chips. But the reason why I would pick the mashed potatoes, because it obviously was the best choice, I thought, and mainly because I'm thinking about, like, how would I like mashed potatoes the best out of all of them, and if I'm making some mashed potatoes, I can throw some, like, garlic salt in there, some pepper, maybe, like, some cayenne pepper in there if I want a little bit of a kick, and I also can put some mayo or sour cream. Now, you might think, like, mayo, sour cream, that's disgusting in mashed potatoes! But it's really not. It's actually very good, because what mayo and sour cream can do to mashed potatoes, it just makes them really creamy. You don't really taste like mayo or sour cream. It just makes them like a really creamy texture kind of thing going on. I also noticed I haven't said anything. You see, I'm in a different actually area. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now because I'm house sitting, or my girlfriend's parents' house, because I'm house sitting in her house. And I brought all my stuff over here because I'm not going to go without my computer. What, do you want me to die or something? But that is why I would pick mashed potatoes, and I would garlic salt, pepper, some cayenne pepper, and probably some sour cream mixed in there, make it really creamy. Next question is from the Gadget Addicts, and they asked me a hypothetical question, straight from Family Guy. They said, would you rather be a marathon runner with knees made of cheese, or a concert pianist who has cocktail sausages for fingers? Now, I thought about this, and then I realized I really, really love cheese. Cheese is, like, delicious. I love blue cheese. I love mozzarella cheese. I love all kinds of cheese. Gorgonzola is, like, delicious on pizza. If you ever heard of a place called Pieology, they make pizzas for, like, $7.50, customized pizzas. And I always get Gorgonzola on those because Gorgonzola is delicious and it tastes awesome. You know, I should get ricotta on there sometimes, but I'm a creature of habit and I usually get the same things over and over when I order food. I thought about that. I was like, I really like cheese, but if I had knees for cheese or cheese for knees, I thought to myself, I was like, well, I really like cheese and I like the taste of cheese. If I got really hungry, I would probably eat my knees because they're made of cheese, and I don't want to be in a wheelchair. So I would not want a marathon runner made of cheese because I would become handicapped. So that is why I would not be that. The reason why I would choose a concert pianist with cocktail sausage fingers is because I would still essentially be able to do my job. I would still be an awesome pianist, as close as that is to penis. And I would have cocktail sausage fingers, which ain't that bad, think some people's fingers are kind of already sausage-like, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal, I'd have to say. I might get a little bit like, cocktail juice or some grease or, whatever on my piano. I just have to wipe it up after, and it's all good, and it's all clean, and it won't be that bad at all. Next question is from Flaming Monocle, and he said, how did I become a sergeant? Well, through the many years of me being 21 of age and going through the army tactics and learning everything. No, actually, I got the sergeant ranking, you could say, is because I did a little bit of PvP battlegrounds in the World of Warcraft back when I used to play in like the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but like towards the beginning. Still, I started in vanilla, right before, maybe a couple months before Burning Crusade came out, and so I played a little bit of PvP every now and then. And I eventually unlocked the prefix name Sergeant, and my name was Kenai in the game. I was a hunter, so I was like, yeah, I made it a Sergeant and a Kenai. This is kind of backwards because you know what I'm trying to say, Sergeant Kenai. I don't know if it's the flipping vertical the videos. You know how videos are, but so I did that. And I acquired the name Sergeant from my epic PvP battles of taking down the fucking Horde, because I'm Alliance. Next question is from Pure Venom. He says, what's the most difficult game I've ever played? Now, I've thought about this, and honestly, if I wasn't on Steam yesterday looking at the sales, I probably wouldn't have chose this game. But the game that I was looking at RPGs and JRPGs, and The Last Remnant came up. Now, I think The Last Remnant is probably like a really underrated, maybe not as known RPG/JRPG kind of thing going on. It's not your typical trope and cliche things of like a typical RPG, and that's what I really like about it. It has like this unique battle feature thing. The reason why it's so hard is because it takes a lot of strategical thinking. And you're separated into like unions on a battlefield, and each union you can give like a certain formation that gives bonuses to vents or to attack or both, or like mobility or whatever other attributes there were. I don't remember anymore. But it was there's a lot of games where I've like played, I came back, I was able to beat it. But the Last Remnant is a game where I like really spent like a lot of time getting past some bosses. Sometimes if your battle rank gets too high, bosses become harder. So I even had to start over in the game because I knew that, like, I thought when I first started, I was like, yeah, I gotta grind and get stronger and get a higher battle rank. And truly, that kind of screwed me over later as I couldn't get past a certain area. So that's the hardest game, I think, to me, was The Last Remnant. Next question is Dazaran. I'm guessing most would think your favorite genre of game is FPS just from your channel name. But just to be sure, what's your favorite genre of video games? Now, that's actually kind of interesting, because Sergeant Kenai comes from, I've mentioned before, a World of Warcraft, a MMORPG. I'm actually not that big of a fan of first-person shooters. I think they can be fun. I've played a lot of Battlefield, Bad Company 2, that was one of my favorite shooters. I've played Modern Warfare, I've played COD games, I've played other first-person shooters, but they're not my cream of the crop. Like, I can kind of enjoy them, but they are not like my go-to game to play if I'm looking for a game to play. I would say my favorite genre by far is RPG/JRPGs. J means Japanese, so there can be RPGs here or RPGs from Japan. Final Fantasy, The Last Remnant, Tales of the Skies of crap. What was that game I've played a little bit of? It's like a pretty long game. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Tales. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. That's what it was. That's a pretty good JRPG I've been playing. And there's just, they're generally fun. The reason why is because, like, JRPGs and RPGs, they're usually, okay, they're not usually, they're almost always are really long games, and that's really not a big deal for me. Like, long games, like, okay, it's gonna happen. And they usually have pretty good stories. They usually get you kind of involved in the characters. There's often some quirky things that happen, some funny things that happen, and I just generally enjoy them. I love character progression. I love skill-based progression. Any game that pretty much has characters and skills and things that you can progress, like personally do and level up and things like that. I love those games. Those are my favorite honest to God games. Is one of the reasons why I like Binding of Isaac, because I kind of feel like there's character progression in the game, because as you play the game more, you unlock more items, you become more powerful, it's a lot of things like that. And you go through the game and you get more powerful. You progress. Progression is one of my favorite things by far. Next, we are going on to Rick Hood. He asks, what are your specs for your setup? Now, I do have my specs link in my About section on YouTube, but I will go directly to my link to read them off. I have an Intel Core i5 670K 3.4 gigahertz quad processor. I have my CPU cooler is a Coolmaster Hyper 212 Evo 829.9 CFM sleeve burning CPU cooler. Motherboard is an ASRock Z97 Pro 3 ATX LGA 1150 motherboard. Memory, I have 8 gigs of memory, which is ADATA 2 sticks of 64, ADATA XPG version 1 DDR3 1600 memory. My storage, I only have one hard drive right now. I'm looking on getting more in the future. Storage is Seagate, I don't know what I'm going on about. Seagate Barracuda 1TB 3.5 inches. I think that's what that means. Centimeters. Maybe, no, I think it means inches. I think the double slash is inches. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. It's probably not. Don't listen to me. It's probably centimeters. 7,200 RPM internal hard drive. 1TB. Video card is XFX Radeon R9 283GB double dispersion video card. Pretty nice video card. It's probably my favorite thing of the whole thing. I got it on a pretty good deal. I believe it was a little bit cheaper, or the same price it is now. It might be cheaper now. And it came with like $100 gift card of free games off of Newegg, and I was like, oh, that's $100 of free games. Hell yeah. They weren't the greatest games, but they were still free. My case is a Corsair 200R mid-tower case. My power supply is a Corsair CX 500 watt 80 plus bronze certified semi-modular ATX power supply. The two monitors that I do have in my PC specs are not actually the monitors I'm using. The ones that I show are Acer blah 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 number 60 Hz 18.5 inches monitor. I actually found some monitors on Walmart for like less than this. They were refurbished or the same price. They were like $80. These are $80. Refurbished 20-inch monitor Acer ones, so I got those instead because I was like, hell yeah, I'd rather get bigger monitors for the same price. So that is all my PC specs. I have a typical just random Logitech keyboard K120 and some random Logitech mic. Logitech mouse. I don't know what it is. It's just a cheap mouse. And I have a blue Snowball, black one. I don't know if that's a black blue Snowball. I have a regular like $6 pop filter, and you might have heard me shake my mic a little bit, and a Logitech HD 720C270. I think that's everything, and some Logitech speakers when I don't want to wear my headphones and I'm watching movies and stuff. Other than that, that's all my specs, I think. So let's go back to the questions, and the questions are on a separate window. Back to them. Next off is Rona. He says, do you live in America? I've always thought you did, since you post your videos, your video posts are at strange times, and when I look, your vlogs would mention times, and I would be completely confused. Yes, I do live in America. I live on the West Coast in California, Southern California, and I'm not surprised because you probably live, I would assume, in Europe or farther east than that, because I know the East Coast is 3 hours ahead of me, and I believe Europe, the Western Europe, is like 6 hours ahead, maybe more, maybe 8. I'm not 100% sure. I know Hawaii is like 3 hours behind, so I don't know how far that is. I don't know my conversions of time, so that's why like videos may be at a random time or a weird time for you. Sometimes when I'm up at like 2 a.m. or just awake at 2 a.m. because I haven't gone to sleep yet, I do see you start watching the videos and commenting, so I assumed you were like somewhere on that Eastern Hemisphere or something like that. I don't know my hemispheres. I think that's Eastern, and I think I'm Western. Next question is Piano Man. And Piano Man has 3 questions for me. His first question is, do you draw the thumbnails in Scan, and do you color them on Photoshop or on paper? I draw the thumbnails on a 18.5 by 11 sheet of construction paper, and then after I figured and I've made my drawing how I want it to be, I then use a Sharpie and redraw the lines and make it so when I scan it, the scan picks up all the lines, because sometimes pencil lines are not dark enough, so I use the Sharpie to make them more defined. And so when I up the contrast between white and black, it actually picks up the lines really well and makes the lines darker and makes the white whiter, if you get what I'm saying. And I color them in through GIMP, because I know GIMP better for coloring in than I know Photoshop. I don't know Photoshop as well as I know GIMP, and for certain things, that is. And I color them on there. I do all the shading there, and I do all of the darkening and colors and change. I do everything on GIMP when it comes to my photo, and then I move it over to Photoshop and do like the text and the number, and usually the logo too. I'll crop out a logo from something and plop it onto there. What do you use to edit your videos? I use Sony Movie Studio 11. Pretty outdated. I got it actually like 3 years ago, so it can't even make 1080p videos in the correct format that I want. That is, it can make some, but not in the format that I would like it to have. I can't make 720 videos by 60 FPS, which I can record easily. I usually do record in that, but I need to change that actually. I keep reminding myself, because I shouldn't be recording in 60 FPS if I can't render in 60 FPS, because it's a waste of resources. I use that. I'm looking for an upgrade sometime soon when I have the money, because I do want to start doing 60 FPS videos, because 60 FPS looks a lot nicer than 30 FPS. Don't say some bullshit and come over here and be like, our eyes cannot see more than 30 FPS. That's fucking bullshit. It's like, maybe the average human eye before like technology could not, but a trained eye can see more frames per second. Like, if you're used to it, you notice the difference. If you're doing 120 frames per second on a 120 hertz monitor, it's gonna look a lot different than a 30 FPS game running on a 60 hertz monitor or something. It's noticeable. You could really tell. So whatever. I'm going on a tangent. Who was the first person to really get you addicted to their videos on YouTube? I would have to say Sly Fox is the earliest memory I can think of, and then CNanners, actually, it just popped in my head. That's how I got introduced to Minecraft, is CNanners, and but mainly Sly Fox, and not so much anymore because most people don't have time to watch all of the content they want, and Sly Fox is already a huge YouTuber, so it's not exactly like he needs my support like people in the community could. So I much divert my attention to people in the community of Watch This Game than I do in bigger YouTubers. I couldn't find the words in my mouth right there. So that is Piano Man's questions. Thank you for your questions. Thank you everyone for your questions so far. Next up is Butimus. He says, where did your name come from? I've mentioned that a little bit earlier. My name came from World of Warcraft. When I was a hunter, I decided to name my character Kenai, and then Sergeant came from the PvP ranking I have done in my many years of service in the Alliance Army. He also asks, he asked many questions actually, 4 I believe. What are you studying in school? I am studying hospitality and restaurant management in school. I'm in my 4th year right now, but I'm not going to finish my 4th year. I'm probably going to finish in my 5th year, hopefully by then, but because I can't get all the classes I want. You know, some classes are only available certain quarters, and then you got prereqs, and like, unless I planned out everything and knew all about prereqs, I might be able to finish it. I took 16 units every quarter, which is the max you can take, unless you get permission from other things. I am not going to do it in 4 years, but I'm going to probably be done next school year, hopefully, or be really close to doing it, so I only have to take like 1 quarter into the next one. And what do you want to do with that degree? Well, if I would go into the fields of my degree, I would either go into catering, maybe working as a cook or a chef, or maybe going into culinary school right after, because there are culinary aspects in the program I'm currently in, but it's not like full on culinary school. There's multiple courses you can take that teach you culinary things, which is like the main reason why I came into it. But I also want to manage, so I can maybe be a manager of a restaurant, and maybe just start my own business at some point. But that wouldn't be until like I was already like well into the industry and decided that's what I wanted to do. Would you consider, this is the last question, would you consider doing YouTube for a living? Now, I'm pretty sure all of us, let's be real here, all of us would consider YouTube or consider going full-time on YouTube if we were making a living out of it. And I'll say my question to that is, hell fucking yeah, I would do that. I really enjoy what I do, even as it is just being a hobby, and I don't make a lot of money from this. I maybe make, at my current rate, maybe like $100 a year. That's what I about make. I've made like $50 so far. It's not really that big of that much money, and it's not my CPM, so I can talk about that. It's not much right now, but in the future, if I could make a sustainable income off of YouTube and make it my full-time job, hell yeah, I would. It would be an amazing thing to do. It would be so freaking awesome. I would 100% do it. Alright, that is all of Butimus's questions. Thank you, Butimus. And we are on to Tripwire. He says, what is your fondest memory of gaming, and what is your favorite game of all time? So my fondest memory of gaming, definitely, I thought about this, and the idea came into my head is, my fondest memory of gaming is around the GameCube times, where it was like Harvest Moon and Pikmin and what's the Sims on the GameCube was probably my fondest memories, because that's when my mom and me really played games, and that doesn't really happen anymore. My mom is kind of doing a lot of her own things, and she has a lot of things that she does, so I don't really have that kind of gaming connection I had when I was little. She would sometimes play The Sims on the computer still, but she's pretty much like abandoned all video games per se. She doesn't really play them anymore. I mean, she's very much enjoyed it, especially Harvest Moon and especially Sims. Great games. A Roller Coaster Tycoon as well on the computer. We all love those games. That's probably one of my fondest gaming memories by far. If I can't really think of anything more fond than that, because my mom, those were like the very beginning games I first started playing that I can remember. And the other question, what is your favorite game of all time? Kingdom Hearts 2. No doubt about it. There's no question in my mind. Every time I think about that, it's Kingdom Hearts 2. Nothing has... There's been no game where I've sat there and 100% completed the game. I was a completionist. I got the Ultimate Keyblade. I did Sephiroth. I did everything. I was like level 90 in the game. I did everything in that game. Everything. Literally down to the last fucking drop. I 100% had completed that game. I remember that was when I was looking for like the last item I needed to make the ultimate keyblade, and I didn't have it, and I looked up where it was, and I was like, oh, it's in the Lion King area, and I grinded the Lion King area for like I went through the area, didn't get it, went back up the gummy ship, came back down, went through the area, did that over and over until I got the final piece, and I got that piece, completed the ultimate keyblade, and I 100%ed the fucking game, and I enjoyed the hell out of that game. It was just a long-lasting game that related to a lot of the things we do, all Disney characters, all the things you go through with Final Fantasy characters. It's fucking good. It was really, really good game. That's why I can't wait for Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts 3 is what I can't wait for. That's going to be amazing. Next question is from Ringan. When I asked him how to pronounce his name, I might be saying it wrong again because I haven't looked at it recently. I was originally going to say his name like Ringan because that's what I felt like saying. But his question was, congrats, I'd love to hear about your journey to 500. I'm always curious about people's experience. My journey to 500 was I originally started YouTube in April of 2012, and I believe. And my roommate started his own YouTube, and I was already considering it, but he started his own YouTube for a little bit at the time. He eventually quit, but he did his YouTube on like dreads because he grew dreads, freeform dreads. They, just natural. You're not combing your hair and keeping it straight, natural like kinks and formations of dreads. And he did videos on that and a lot of like products you should use to keep your hair healthy and to make sure like your dreads don't come apart early on, and a lot of things like that, and like life philosophy kind of things. He did all of that, and I was already considering doing YouTube for a while. From Sly Fox, I saw his community, and I was like, oh, I want that. I want something like that. It's such a great feeling. I want to be a part of a community, and so I made YouTube. I made my YouTube of April 2012, and I went through my basic moments. I started off with vlogs and did like vlog stories and had some people subscribe from like my friends and things of the like. And then I moved on to my first series, which is no longer on my channel because I just couldn't stand seeing it anymore because it was so bad. I had so many audio issues. I had so many video issues throughout the series. And when I was originally doing this, I didn't give a fuck. Like, when I did that series, I didn't care I was having audio issues. I didn't care I was having video issues. I just made videos, and they were just really bad. I didn't know how to commentate. I didn't know how to do anything. So I'm sure that got me some views because it was Minecraft or subscribers. But I did eventually take that series down, like, actually, maybe a couple months ago, maybe last year sometime. I took that down at the beginning of this year. Then I did the Series of Doom, which was me and Ninja Bear, which is me and, like, someone who I consider my brother. Who I've known since high school, sophomore year. And we did that for like 4 seasons of different maps and different things. But then we eventually just stopped like one of mid the seasons. I think we both didn't have time. And then I moved on to single player Minecraft, and then eventually I just completely lost interest in Minecraft and moved my channel onto different and new things. A lot of my subscribers originally also came from Preox, the Travelcast. I've mentioned them before in a vlog. They have a pretty tight-knit community. That their Twitch is twitch.tv/Preox, which is PREOCTS. Very awesome community. You guys should definitely go over there if you really want to feel a strong community. They play Minecraft, and it's probably the only live stream or Minecraft live stream I watch these days because I just love the community. I love him and his wife. They do it together. It's his lifelong partner. They're just an awesome couple together, and I really enjoy hanging out, lurking in there or talking. It's a great time. I know a lot of the people in there. It's something you guys should all do, I believe. Go over and check them out. I'll definitely have their link in the description as Twitch live streamers. And then I eventually moved up through like natural progression of like playing games and getting found and yada yada until like about 200 or so subs. And then I came across Let's Play subreddit, and there was a bunch of there's a post I eventually came across like a couple weeks of being there. It was like, share our Twitters, and I shared our Twitters, and I had some guy, a bunch of people follow me, and I followed a bunch of people, and one of them was Crosby Gaming, and he doesn't do YouTube anymore. I think he's became real life has took over and became more important, and it should be more important, so he's no longer doing videos. I met him, and he introduced me to team support, and through team support, I found Jerry and Ben, and in finding Jerry and Ben, I found also Bronin, and then I found everyone else, and then I was like ingrained into the community, and then Watch Us Game happened, and I gained, hundreds of, 100+ subs from everyone, and from the support of the videos and all of that, so I got way more people playing a lot of new indie games and playing a lot of new games in general. And generally, playing new games or playing unknown indie games or like games may not know about, or like pre-release games, is a great way to grow your channel. And I think that's one of the major reasons it's helped out a lot. It's because indie games aren't as big as triple A titles. And now that has reached me to 500 subscribers. Next, I will go on to one of the last questions from my good friend who I've known for 3 years plus. Before I started YouTube, I met him over on Twitch when he was at the Boys of MC channel, and he is one of my best friends now. His question is, how long have you been friends with Suffer Z? And like I said, over 3 years. He is so cool and more awesome than you will ever be. Really? I'm not even surprised that you complimented yourself in your own thing. Well, you know what I gotta say? Not as cool as me? Thank you for the question. It made me laugh. I appreciate it. Last question is Death Tank. What is your favorite food? Now, I thought about this for a second because I almost forgot, and then I remembered pho. Now, you might say, what the fuck is pho, man? Pho, my man. What the fuck are you talking about, Some people might call it pho. That is actually not the right way to say it, but I'm not going to be one of those people. Just like how gyros are actually called euros from whatever ethnic Italian, whatever it comes from. They're actually pronounced euros, which is dumb because it's spelled really freaking weird, but I do pronounce some of the euros now. But pho, or pho, what some people might call it, but pho is delicious. It's like an Asian broth and noodles and like meat and like whatever other shit they put in there, and it's just like so rich and delicious. My mouth is watering from it right now. I want some pho, damn it! I want some pho. I haven't had pho in a couple months, so I mean, not drool on myself. I'm really missing it. But that's all the questions. I have to thank you guys so much. It's actually a way longer video than I thought it was gonna be. It's freaking 33 minutes right now, or around there. And that's insane. I didn't think I had that many questions and that's many things to talk about. That is insane. I have to thank you guys for 500 subs. It's been a ride. It's been amazing. I appreciate every single one of you who have came and showed support and liked my videos. I'm actually gonna do a little bit of a shout out to every single fucking person in the community, and I'm gonna put every goddamn link in my description. Fucking dedication. Alright. So, we will start off with going to the Watch Us Game community and viewing all of our members. I'm going to shout out every single members. I'm going to shout out starting off with Two Moogles Games. Next off, 8-Bit Onion. Next, Ada Hora. Amy Face Games. Alpha G's 990. Andrew Gibson. Andy Kane. Average Adversary, Azerian, Bromance Gaming, Beer Beats, Butamus, B&G Games, Bronin, I'm spitting actually, I'm saying too many sounds, Button Mashers Bros, Chris Cortonaire, Chris Hall, Couple Gaming, Defy 87, Derpy Starhead, Diamond Deb, Double Damsels, Dezaran, EMS Arcade, Ivory, Faded Gaming, Fallen Shogun, Flaming Monocle, Game Shelf A to Z, Ginger Red, Why is there 2 ginger reds here? I don't know. But there is. Glorious Moustache Gaming, Grab a Pint. Herbal Gaming, Insidious Minds. J Hutch Games, Beer Beats Games. George... Wait, did I already say Beer Beats Games? Why do you have 2 of these? God damn it. It's Jeffrey. I'm assuming it's your alternate account. George Campus Gaming's Josh BMB, Kelly Bay, oh god, this name. Kelly Jelly Bay. God, Kelly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna try and figure that out. It's gonna be in the description though. So camera, yes. Kitsune, yeah. Konami World, Crude G Games, Larry Kupachabra, Level Down Reviews, Logie Bear, Lulu Lin, Mariachi Gaming, Masters of Unlocking, Metro Plays, Mightier Mouse, Monkey Flops Plays, Mr. Luchador, Mustache, Nubix Gaming, Noble Panda, Noctidoside, One Line Derek, Pantheon XO, Panic Rush Films, Paranormal Activity, Pepify Pure Venom, Quality Darren, Regular Time Tex. I thought that said Regular Sex Time for a second. Renda Hero, Replayability. I'm spitting on my monitor again. Retroverse, Rick Hood, Rookie Plays Games, me, my channel. I'm pretty sure you know what my channel is if you're here. Shark Bite, Shattered Scheme, Shed Games, Saintology, Sirius Elixer, S&G Gaming, Snow Dust, Share Pixel, Spaz Monkey, Super Baichiu, True and Honest Taco Bayo 7, Tay Young, Terra Control, Terra Vision Gaming, The Burley Sea House, The Gym, The Mode, The Rabble Rouser, The Gaming Addicts, The New Bros, The Gamer Duos, Tight Fist and Loose Kinkles, Tom TK, Tripwire, Triple M, Validated Elk, Wilbowski, Anime Jinjane? Huh? I don't even know what that last word is. Crunchy Whale, Masters of Mayhem, Merlin, Guitars Gaming, Gamer 7's V11, so it's some Roman numerals in there. Jado Echo 19087, assuming that's when you were born. Outlawless, and Steve Bangary. I don't know. That's probably wrong. Anyways, damn, we're coming up close to 40 minutes. We're not that far off. What the hell is all of this stuff around me? Get it out of here. Okay. Anyways, you see my face again. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. It's a long-ass fucking video, but it's totally worth it. I loved every second of making it. Thank you guys for being there for me. Thank you guys for supporting each other. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for making content and spreading what you love to do to everyone else. I'm Sergeant Kenai, and I'm at 500 subs. I broke 100,000 views recently. The things are great, and I appreciate every single one of you. Before I start tearing up and crying on a ball like I probably will into the moon when I finish. I'll see you guys next time. And Sergeant Kenai signing out.